No one can do it better. No one can do it better.
Alright, welcome back to the World is Ghetto Entertainment, second video of the day. Check this out. Today we got breaking news. If y'all don't know who G-Face is, but G-Face, you know, is supposedly, I don't know if it's confirmed, I don't know if this is true, but, you know, a lot of people are saying that this is true. So, personally, I don't know if it's true, but supposedly, I'm going to say supposedly for right now because I don't know, but it could be true, it could be not, but, you know, G-Face is a DEA informant who got rich off Instagram and taken down by feds. So we're going to check this little video out. Supposedly this exposes G-Face as a snitch informant who just rats on a lot of people. And if you do know G-Face by now, he's been trying to debunk those allegations because they've been saying, I've been hearing some stuff and they've been saying that G-Face is an informant and he's just been, you know, brushing it off like, oh, I got the paperwork, been going crazy on people. But, you know, supposedly they expose him in this video right now, so make sure y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button. Y'all stay tuned for other videos that come out. But other than that, we're gonna get into this video. Let's go.
When you put your business out there, it becomes everyone's.
Facts.
Other people's business out, you become a target.
Facts.
The feds have officially indicted none other than 39-year-old Yuri Kachikian, who's more commonly known as G-Face. If you're subscribed to No Jumper, you've likely seen G-Face before. An Armenian immigrant, G-Face would gain notoriety for his ties to the Southsiders, a predominantly Mexican gang with historic roots stretching from Los Angeles and all throughout the California prison system. Before his interview with No Jumper, G-Face could be seen alongside controversial rapper Swifty Blue in a video that went viral warning visitors of Los Angeles to check in.
Gangland, the southern side.
I remember this shit. This shit was goofy. It was probably just a skit. I ain't trying to go off on it, but this was not scary at all. This not put no fear in my heart. But it probably was just a skit. You know, look at G-Face. Thought he was really gonna do something. But you know, both of these characters already fell off. You know, they fell off. That's all I gotta say. But it's just goofy. We're gonna call that just goofy. Goofy entertainment, if you're trying to say, because they're just goofies at this point.
To check in.
Gangland, the southern side. I'm right here with the homie from White Fence. Check it out. If you ever in Los Angeles and you are here handling business, make sure you tap in with some solid homies for your own security. The streets is dangerous. If you're not tapped in, you will get stepped on. Believe that. You will get stepped on. Believe that. The streets is dangerous.
See, what's the point of doing this on camera? There's no point showing your shit on camera. No point. Keep that in your pocket. Take it out when you really gotta use it. No point of taking it out in front of a camera. What you gonna do in front of a camera? You know, it's funny because I'm not just even talking about them anymore. I'm just talking in general. Most of the people, they do it in the camera, but when it's really time to take it out, they don't take it out. It's funny. The internet gangsters. They aren't just on the internet. The internet bangers, they're net bangers, whatever you want to call them, but
tap in. Tap the fuck in.
Swifty Blue would speak highly of G-Face to Adam22, securing him a No Jumper interview that would gain over 500,000 views. G-Face would describe moving from Armenia to Los Angeles at a young age and eventually losing his cousin to gang violence. Adapting to the culture, G-Face would claim at only 15, he was arrested for 2 attempted murders on the same gang that took his cousin's life. According to G-Face, he wouldn't be released until he was 34.
I'm from West LA, I'm from White Fence. I went to prison at the age of 15, so I wasn't really out here in the scene. I'm 38 years old now. I went to prison at the age of 15, I got out at 34. I got charged as an adult.
So what did you do that you got like 20 years?
Basically, my charge was attempted murder, 2 attempted murders, dropped down to attempted manslaughter, and 3 counts of armed robbery.
Now this interview would spiral into a gang of conspiracy theories and accusations. Not only photos, but whole songs would be dug up showing a younger, less tatted, no beard having G-Face rapping by the name Lil Ghost and claiming a gang known as Armenian Power.
Fuck all you rap bastards snitching and shit.
So that's the first time he got exposed. First time he got exposed. Wait, is this gonna be copyright for me? If it is, I'm probably gonna have to take it out.
Known as Armenian Power.
Fuck all you rap bastards snitching and shit. Who's that tipping in the drop top Benz? Lil Ghost Capone sitting on 20-inch rims. Got the Glock on my side, extra clip for backup. Extended clips in case these busters act up.
This would contradict his original story of being from White Fence 13, a known rival of Armenian Power. Rumors began circulating that G-Face, or Ghostface, or Lil Ghost, was attempting to cover up his past. Not long after, he'd be accused of snitching, and appeal transcripts would be discovered stating Ghost, aka Yuri, testified and identified in court the man that shot at him. Black 100 would even confront G-Face to his face about the paperwork.
So Yuri is a dude that...
No, Yuri's me. You talking
Yuri
about
is you.
Yeah.
So I did do a reaction on this video right here. I did talk about this video in particularly, so y'all can go check that video out. It's about 2 weeks old, three weeks old. So y'all can scroll on my little icon, check that video out. But I do remember reacting to this.
Yuri admitted
Harmonious.
that at the preliminary hearing, he identified Abrahamian as the driver and the person who shot at him. And he had told the police that Skinny was the only person in the car. Is this real or fake? That's what that come down to.
I got the real paperwork right here.
So you saying this is fake work?
His name and everything. Look. Check this out.
G-Face was now starting to feel the heat, but didn't even know the feds were about to raise the temperature. A federal indictment would reveal Yuri, aka Ghost, and his wife were now facing federal charges for conspiring to commit wire fraud, committing wire fraud, and engaging in a monetary transaction in property derived from unlawful activity.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned as we attempt to commune with the devil.
The fact that the paperwork says Ghost instead of G-Face also seems to confirm his previous alias, as he's documented as Ghost, the one from Armenian Power. So how the fuck did this...
You see how the truth comes out eventually, and the dots get connected? That's what happens in time, you know? The time will come out. I mean, the truth will come out, you know? With just the right amount of time. You gotta wait for it.
Happened. According to the indictment, Yuri and Yelena owned 2 businesses together and shared a bank account. Between July 2020 and June of 2021, the feds alleged the couple applied for small business loans and PPP loans by falsifying business documents. They'd received 2 loans worth $290,000 on top of a PPP loan worth 20 grand. So why is this news? Well, it just so happens that while G-Face was on No Jumper telling prison war stories, in reality, his face was no good. No matter who you are, if you've been to prison, you know there's always a cell waiting for you, and the wrong move will have guards welcoming you back home. G-Face knew he had a target on his back, and his only way to get out was to expose the past he's been hiding. A motion for review of magistrate's order of detention would be filed on Yuri's behalf. The feds want to keep him in custody, and this was Yuri's lawyer's chance to explain why he's a good citizen and should be released from custody until trial. It would also state he has concerns about his safety during his detention. His lawyer would state although Yuri has led a colorful life, he is neither a flight risk nor a danger to the community. He has a wife, 3 children, a house, numerous relatives, and a remarkable thriving new business. In short, he has every incentive to stay in the United States. Leaving the US would not only destroy his business, but also put his family and himself at risk. Yuri has been a target of the Mexican Mafia since 2006, when he was stabbed repeatedly and left for dead. He cooperated against the Mafia members who stabbed him and has been forced to live with a green light hit hanging over his head.
See, now that's crazy. That's something that I didn't know. That is crazy. Let's go back. I want to hear that again. That's some new information. There's got to be some new information. I've never heard about this.
He has been a target of the Mexican mafia since 2006, when he
2006.
was stabbed repeatedly and left for dead. He cooperated against the mafia members who stabbed him and has been forced to live with a green light hit hanging over his head. Since that time, there has been several attempts and threats on his life, including recently, and he has had weapons in the house to defend himself. Come to find out, Yuri isn't even a US citizen and is a documented alien. According to his lawyer, he came to the US at only 9 years old, and he checks in with ICE once a year, providing all of his information. His entire family is now in the US. He's been married for 13 years and has 3 kids aged 16, 13, and 5. He's responsible for taking...
Shit is crazy. They really exposing this man right now. It's crazy how they can get every single detail off just the internet. It's crazy. I bet you this is all just from the internet.
Taking
Crazy
care
stuff.
of his mother and mother-in-law, as his father and father-in-law both passed away. Opening a trucking company, he started with 1 truck and 1 driver before expanding into a thriving business. Then in late 2022, early 2023, he came up with an idea. Knowing the most difficult part of the trucking business is starting it, he offered to mentor anyone willing to pay his one-time $5,000 consulting fee. In his first year, he had over 700 customers, grossing $3.5 million legitimate dollars. For all of these reasons, ICE has chosen not to deport him. Unfortunately for Yuri, he didn't become a legit millionaire until after committing fraud, and now it was coming back to bite him. Yuri was now begging for a bond as his business depends on it, and each day spent in jail is another day his success fades away. Giving more reasons as to why Yuri isn't a flight risk, it would state in 2012 he caught a case and never attempted to leave. His lawyer would state if he were to flee to Armenia, it would almost certainly be a death sentence as he cannot protect himself there the way he can in the US. It would expose him in a way that he has not been exposed in years and would make it easy for the Mexican mafia to have him killed. Now holy shit.
Crazy.
This sounds nothing like the stories told on No Jumper.
Facts.
And if my math is
Facts. He be lying to us. He's been lying to us this whole time. If this is true, he's been lying to us this whole time. For what? 20 years he's been lying to us? How long he been in the rap game? I really don't know G-Face. I never listened to his music. Personally, I don't like his style. I just don't like his music. But he's been lying to us this whole time. If this is true, he's been lying to us this whole time, which is crazy to think about.
math, and Yuri was born in 85. So if he got locked up at 15, that would have been the year 2000. And if he was stabbed in 2006, that means he was stabbed in prison by the Mexican mafia and cooperated against them at only 21 years old. But if he served a 20-year sentence, he's 39 years old and was released at 34, that means he's only been home for 5 years. So how the fuck was he married for 13 with a 16-year-old, 13-year-old and 5-year-old kid, and he caught another outside charge in 2012? Unless
yo, whoever made this video right here, I don't know if it's 1090 Jake. I've been hearing that name go around too much. I don't really know who that is. I just do know he be exposing people's paperwork, and he is a valid person to read paperwork. But if I like this whole format, this whole video, I like the way he's doing the video. So salute to 1090 Jake. You know, I like this whole video, this whole format of the video. You know, he really speaking facts. He really doing the math. You know, salute.
how the fuck was he married for 13
That's
with a 16-year-old, 13-year-old and 5-year-old kid, and he caught another outside charge in 2012, unless he lied about it all? According to Yuri's lawyer, Yuri was not a danger to the community. He is an asset. To understand his current position, it is necessary to review his history, both criminal and as a government witness. In 2000, at 15 years old, Yuri was arrested for second-degree robbery. The circumstances of the robbery did not involve a gun, and he was arrested for taking $40 from a person with a knife, sentenced to 4 years in prison, and given 2 strikes. So G-Face completely lied on No Jumper about avenging his dead cousin, attempting to murder 2 rivals, and doing 20 straight years in prison. In fact, the DEA became involved with Yuri back in 2005 when he was only 20 and began using him as an informant. He provided the DEA with names and evidence against several people.
That's crazy. This is crazy. See, this is some next level stuff right here. Like, how do you even get this? You know, salute to 1080 Jake for actually exposing someone like this, because he's been lying to us for all this time. You know, salute for God's work. You know, salute. He really got all the information. This is crazy. This is crazy. Another rat exposed. That's 2 this year. You know, this year is really the truth. It's the truth year, the year of the truth. It's crazy.
That resulted in arrests and convictions. The government does not dispute his involvement.
He really got people arrested.
The DEA.
You know, you gotta be careful who you follow on the internet, because a lot of people just play a character for the internet and aren't really like that. I'm pretty sure everyone watching, you know, knows this by now, but you know, you gotta be careful who you watch, because there's a lot of people that just play a character and you know, might not really like that in real life. It's like this guy. Try not to be a rat.
And his cooperation. After several arrests were made, including members of the Mexican Mafia, it became clear to the community that Yuri was an informant. Word was put out that he was a snitch and needed to be taken out, and shortly after, he'd be attacked by 2 men and stabbed multiple times. He managed to survive, but it would take months to fully recover. The Glendale Police Department pressured Yuri to give up the names of the 2 men who stabbed him so they could arrest them. At first, Yuri was reluctant because he knew it would lead to more retaliation, but the detective insisted, even threatening him with jail if he didn't reveal the names. Yuri was assured they'd be arrested and he wouldn't have to testify, so he gave up the names and they were arrested for attempted murder. Neither man would take a plea, meaning Yuri now had to testify, and it only took a little convincing before Yuri agreed and testified against them. He knew doing so would increase the pressure on him as a target of the Mexican Mafia, and he later learned he was #1 on their hit list. The government back then realized he was in danger and
crazy stuff right here. You know, I'm gonna say this one more time. Salute 1090 Jake. You know, I believe he's like the only person to have this information and the first person to actually put this information out. So this is good for the community. He's doing God's work.
Arranged for him to move to Atlanta and start a new life. The move didn't go well, and he moved back to Los Angeles with his family. Within 1 year of moving back, he was attacked, and Yuri stabbed one of the men, sending him to the hospital. Yuri refused to cooperate at this point. He told the officers the reason he's in the position he's in is because he cooperated before, and he was never going to do it again. It was explained to him if he did not cooperate, he would likely be charged, as you can't go a self-defense route without cooperation. But for the first time in Yuri's criminal life, he'd actually do something honorable. He told the police he'd rather do prison time than put himself and his family further at risk. If only he thought like that before becoming a whole DEA fucking informant, he would have avoided all of this.
Facts.
Yuri would end up being arrested for the stabbing and took a plea sending him to prison for the next 7 to 8 years. Law enforcement was aware of him being an informant, and the Mexican Mafia hit on him, so he was placed in protective custody. When he was released, he wanted to start a new life, but he still had the potential hit hanging over him. He moved to a location where he could not be found and started his trucking business. Finding success, he'd move his family into a home where he has put in larger walls, iron gates, 35 cameras, and part-time security. Yuri's lawyer would go out of his way to show that in 2024, the hit over Yuri's head is still very much active. To underscore the ongoing threat, Yuri received a recent Instagram message from someone named Bozo, who sent him a picture of his house with the message that his days are numbered. In one of the pictures, his wife, daughter...
They got my boy Bozo out here, who sent him a picture of his house and said, "Your days are numbered." Hey, shout out Bozo. Crazy.
And dog are all visible. The Instagram message is saved on his phone that the police took during the search, and if they bring the phone to court, Yuri can show the threatening Instagram message. So apparently Yuri still isn't done snitching, and his online beef with Bozo is documented through social media.
So when I did this whole YouTube shit, what I did was I was gonna show my fans, haters, whoever's watching, nothing but realness, 100% authenticity. Bro, I'm too rich for you to go to war with me, dog. Think about this.
Think about this. This is all an act. This right here, just all an act. It's crazy not to think about it. Think about all the tough, you know, he was the toughest person on the internet. You know, I'm too rich to beef with you, I'm too rich to, bitch. Homie, you a rat. What you talking about? All that money, go ahead, take it with you. You gonna need it. You gonna need it, my boy. You gonna need it, cause they coming after you. They're coming after you. So go ahead, have that money. You gonna need it.
I could drop $40,000 right now for one of your little homies to off you, dog. You saying I'm a snitch. Why are you not doing something about it?
Yuri's entire criminal history would be summed up with the robbery for $40, stabbing someone, attacking him.
Bozo, I think he's the first one to call it first. So salute to Bozo too, man. I think he was the first person out of everything to call it.
Him for snitching, and a fight in 2020 with one of his childhood friends. Yuri would plead guilty to felony assault with a deadly weapon and do 3 months in jail. At no point was he charged with attempted murder. At all times he was in protective custody, and currently G-Face is being held inside the San Bernardino County Jail in protective custody because of threats on his life for being a DEA informant. When the feds raided G-Face's home, they'd find an unregistered handgun in a bush, multiple guns in a safe, and $20,000 in cash. His lawyer would state the guns were for self-defense, and the guns in the safe were registered to his wife, who applied for the Los Angeles Police Department. His lawyer would also highlight how even though G-Face is in protective custody, that is no guarantee that he can be protected. Michael Torres, a Mexican mafia member, was recently stabbed to death in the LA County Jail while in administrative segregation and thought to be untouchable. Yuri understands he's likely facing prison time for his federal charges and is begging the courts to release him to not only save his business, but so he can relocate his family to protect them. With all that being said, federal prosecutors don't give a fuck and don't want him released. If anyone was unsure about G-Face snitching, his own lawyer would confirm he's the textbook definition of a fucking rat. And you'd think with all that money G-Face made, his lawyers would have attempted to seal these documents from getting released. But no, his whole case is publicly available. His whole life story has been a fabrication made up in an attempt to find internet fame, and even though he found legitimate success, his past caught up with him. With any and all Fed cases, it can be expected that G-Face goes to federal prison, but with his history of snitchery and the fact that he's charged with fraud, he'll most likely end up at a camp full of inmates just like him. Yuri, or G-Face, is a real example of how snitching can and does carry consequence. He's been stabbed, hospitalized, and targeted almost half his life because he chose to be an informant. He'd change his name, change his gang, and create a new storyline for the internet while flashing money and paying for friendships he never had. He'd recreate who he wanted to be while denying who he was, and now at 39 years old he's back in a cell on the verge of losing it all as his past has once again become his present.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So he is an informant. it's basically confirmed in this video. We got all the documents and all the paperwork. So that's all I gotta say. That's crazy. I just gotta wait for more information. You know, you heard it here first. 1080 Jake put this video out, so you know, tap in with his video. You know, it's my first time reacting to him. I really don't know too much about him, but salute to him. Great video, great video. But yeah, it's The World Is a Ghetto Entertainment. And you know, make sure y'all hit that like, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and you know, comment down below your comments. You know, what do you guys think about this whole situation? Other than that, it's The World Is a Ghetto Entertainment, and I'm out.